Okay, well, first thing I'm going to try to do is to walk you through how to use the various units. The first one is just a little bit more complex than the others because it has two parts. But when it opens up at the beginning, this is Bio Online Unit 1 Tokyo. This is hopefully what you're going to see. Okay, now you've already looked at the introduction, you've already looked at the schedule. So the first thing to notice is there are two folders, Bio Unit 1 Part A, okay, which contains a number of images, and Bio Unit 1 Part B, which contains a number of images, and here we have 3 PowerPoints. So that's what the unit's going to look like when you open it up. And of course the main thing is the workbook, which I'll open up now. Come on, workbook, open up. Okay. And it's going to look like this. At the top, it's going to give you the title of the unit. It's going to remind you that the PowerPoints in the text are in red. If you want to use the textbook, which sometimes is easier, I've put it in green. And images and video will be in blue. And I'm following the whole, this particular system throughout the whole course. Okay, now most units are just going to be in one part. 8A and 8B will be in 2 parts, but most of them are going to be just one part. So the first one, and I'm still looking at the workbook, is called Pre-Unit 1. Partly because before we actually get on to Unit 1, there's a number of vocabulary words we need. And all the extra information for this Pre-Unit 1 are in the folder Bio Unit 1 Part A. So let me go back to that. Okay, we're looking at the first part of the workbook, Pre-Unit 1, and all the stuff you need is in this one, Bio Unit 1 Part A. Okay, let's go back for a moment. So, as you go through Pre-Unit 1, one of the first things you're going to notice is there's a PowerPoint fairly early on. It's called Introduction to Water. So, surprise, surprise, you go back to Bio Unit 1 Part A and you look for that PowerPoint. Okay. Only trouble with PowerPoints is they take forever to open, like this one. I guess it will open eventually. And then it's going to ask if it's registered and all that kind of stuff. But essentially we're getting into the PowerPoint. So, okay, here we go. And it's just a regular kind of PowerPoint, like any PowerPoint. And a lot of this course is built around PowerPoints. That's partly because we're online and we don't have much other choice. So all the time you're going through the various units, look for the red type, look for the PowerPoints, and you'll find almost all the answers you need there. Okay, let's go back to our workbook and move on a little bit. You're answering the questions as you go. Now, here's your first image. It's because there are 4 rather kind of complex words in English. So the image, the title of the image is Dissolve, and we know it's an image because it's in blue. So I'm going back to Unit 1, Part A, and we're going to have a look at this particular image. Okay, nothing terribly difficult about this, right? Okay, let's go back once again to the workbook, and you just keep on going like this. Here's a diagram in blue, and here's the first short video clip, again in blue. I'm not going to waste time going back because I think you know by now what's happening. So once more, this is Pre-Unit 1, and all the material you need is in the folder 1A. Now, sometimes it's easier and quicker to use the textbook, so I put in the textbook numbers. There's a lot of text in the textbook. However, once you know what you're looking for, you can save a lot of time by looking, just like a reading exercise, looking for the answers to the questions, skimming, scanning, And unless you really want to punish yourselves, there's no need to read through the whole text. So here we are, textbook in green, some questions, and look for the answers to the key questions only. We're still in pre-unit 1. Okay, same thing, here's some images, here's the textbook page, here's some stuff to fill in. 2 videos here, don't skip the videos, they make things a lot clearer. And as we go through pre-unit 1, eventually we arrive at the full unit 1. And the only difference here really is that instead of using unit 1 part A folder, right now I'm noting folder, you're using unit 1 part B. So we've more or less finished with this one, and we're going to move on to the other one, if I can find the thing. Okay. We're going to go on to Unit 1, Part B. So pre-Unit 1 is going to be in Unit 1, Part A. The real Unit 1 is going to be this stuff here in Unit 1, Part B. And you just simply follow the same pattern through again. Don't forget, this is the real Unit 1, full Unit 1, so we're using the textbook if you need to, and especially concentrate on the PowerPoints in red, because they're going to make life a lot easier. Almost all the stuff in the textbook is actually in the PowerPoints. So as you go through the unit, either you can fill it in as you like, or I would strongly suggest that you make notes. If I've crossed something out, you can ignore anything in the PowerPoint. And eventually, at the end of the unit, you're going to find a number of key questions. Make sure you can answer those questions, because they're the things that are going to appear in the final exam at the end of the course. And that's kind of walked you through Unit 1, and I hope it was helpful.